What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, having some fun on the DealerCast, and we are pumped up to have the one, the only,
Larry
Bruce.
What's happening, fellas? How we doing? You know, I was noticing during the intro, I'm not sure any of us need a stimulant.
Well, the premise that we go with is that we bring the caffeine to the coffee. Is how we like
exactly 100%.
No,
I can get that done.
We believe we are the coffee bean, right? And the coffee bean changes the environment around them. When we get put in hot water, we caffeinate what's going on around us. We even change the color, the tone, and the way it tastes. That's how powerful coffee bean is, right? And that's what we do, and that's what the show's all about, and that's what DealerCast 2.0, my friends, is all about. We got some really great things going on, and today we're going to talk about one of our favorite subjects in the whole wide world. What should you want your CRM to do, right? And that's something that we talk about a lot. We've seen everybody talks about a CRM, but most people don't even touch it. What do you want it to do, and what should it do? So let's talk about that today. I'm excited. We got the man, the myth, the legend right here with Larry Bruce, and he knows a ton about this subject, not just from, being a guy who's created one himself and done things like that, but for one that's actually utilized one, who knows what it's like to have one that does not function right, has seen the good and the bad. He keeps his ear to the ground, and he's learning a lot about what's happening out there in the market. So Larry, man, we're excited. This is a fun show because obviously between Lou and I, we do have some decades between us that we could talk about. But brother, you not only that you have decades, but you have some really amazing experience from retail to being a vendor to being a dealer partner to so many things. I'm pumped up, man. I'm glad we're doing this. So let's get this party started. What you thinking, Lou?
Yeah.
I'm excited that we get to have this talk because a lot of people are wondering as they hit the market or they go to a trade show or they consider my people just aren't using this thing, whatever it is. When they go to the market, you try to say they want to make a change, and it is a little bit of a change. It takes a little bit of a work to get this entire system switched up. But what do they change to, and what do they even want? Because sometimes, and many times, I'd have to say, dealers switch to another CRM, go through the whole rigmarole, and it's still not used. They still don't know what to get out of it. They still don't know how to use it inside of a meeting, and it turns into that tool again that just, it doesn't do anything, and my guys are lazy. Right, Bruce?
Well, it's funny. We didn't, back when we started this deal, I didn't want to build another CRM because this would be number 4 for me. So, two of them are still in the market in the car business today, but I didn't want to build another one. And when we decided to do it, because we were asked multiple times by many power sports stores, I was like, well, if we're going to do it, I'm not going to do it again where it doesn't work. Because everybody kept telling me, and you hear it a lot, CRM doesn't work, or my guys won't use CRM, or my guys don't work the CRM, or it's a tool. You hear it's a tool. You hear it's and I started thinking through that, and I said, I told my guys at the time, I said, well, okay, if we're going to build a CRM, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to start the same way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a survey. But I'm not going to make any survey. I just want to know one question. It was 1,153 owners and general managers. I got one question for you. What do you want a CRM to do? Well, you should have seen some of the eyes. That's a good question. And after some thought, we got a lot of the surveys back. But what it came down to was I want to know in real time when my salespeople are with an opportunity, and they define an opportunity as a floor lead or a floor up, a call, a internet lead, or some sort of chat session or text session with the website. That was an opportunity. And I want to know in real time when they're with that opportunity, what happened with that opportunity, because something had to result from it. And then what do you plan to do next to get that sale?
Yep.
And after we boiled it all down, I was like, well, yeah, makes total sense. If you're going to try to help somebody, if you're going to try to coach somebody, you got to know these things. So we started looking at how we were going to meet these challenges. And it's funny how many dealers don't really think about what it's going to take to meet that challenge. They can say it, but then when you start talking about all the things that you got to do to get it, then it doesn't shock you. It shouldn't shock you why it's not working.
All right.
Because I see too many salespeople who are in a CRM and they're quote unquote working it, or think they're going to work it, right? And so we kind of looked at we said, well, okay, well, we got to know in one more question then. One question from salespeople is 810, if I remember, 811. And that was, why won't you use a CRM? And what we got back out of that was, okay, too much admin work to give the sales manager or the owner what he wants. Click, click, type, click, type, click, click, type, click, type, click, 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 type, click. And, it doesn't take long. I mean, when you really boil it down, you get down to, some of these systems, these legacy systems, we won't name them, but, it takes between 10 and 15 clicks and about 3 to 5 minutes to get a customer updated or into the system, right? And that doesn't seem like a long time. But to a sales guy, to us three, that's an eternity. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Right? And so we had to meet that challenge too. And it was very interesting how that all came about. But that's what dealers say they want from a CRM. Now, what should you want from that CRM is a different story. Mm-hmm. What that CRM, to get what you want, what it has to do is it has to change the culture and the process. It has to put a process in your store. And this goes back to the working of a CRM, because I've watched salespeople do it. And what they'll do, oddly enough, is they'll sit down at their desk at their CRM. And this is a good guy, by the way, not the normal guy. This is a good guy in your store.
That's trying to do his job, right?
That's trying to do the job 100%. And so he'll sit down at his desk and he'll pull up the CRM and he'll start searching for people to call. Okay. Did you not have any leads yesterday? What about from the day before? What do you not have any leads today? Help me understand why you have to search for somebody to call. And this is quote unquote called working the CRM. And so, and then you'll see managers who will go over. At first, it never stays in there, but they'll go over the daily plan. I love this. I'm going to go over your daily plan with you. What your daily plan is, right? Yeah, that happens for a week and then it stops. Because, it takes a long time to go over somebody's daily plan. So, and then you start to
takes a day.
It's because it's a daily plan. Yeah. So I've got 10 sales guys. I'm 10 days into the daily plan. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not quite that bad, but it is a weird thing especially when you start capturing every lead, every every call, every floor, every internet lead that comes in, every internet lead or chat session that comes off your website. When you start capturing every one of these digitally, I do this with every dealer that we sign up every time. Tell me how many opportunities you think you had to sell last month before you came on. And they'll tell me, oh, I had 300 or I had 400 or 500, whatever the number. I don't care what the number is. Times that number by 5, and that's the real number of opportunities you had. You get maybe a third of your floor ups,
right?
And you get like 5% of your calls. The only thing you get 100% into that CRM are internet leads that come in because they're parsed in and immediately all the information's there. Mm-hmm. Right? Now you think about that. Why is that? So this was the first thing we had to tackle, the most simplest thing in a dealership. How do you catch it up?
Right.
Yeah, it's the core, and it's the most important customer in your store because they're in your store.
Right.
Right? So they're physically here. And how do you catch that customer? So, I'll ask dealers all the time, what's your standard greeting? How do you greet a customer? Huh?
It's a great question.
What,
Larry,
don't you have a standard greeting?
it should be at least a standard procedure on how you greet somebody with the type of energy,
Right.
what you ask for before you go any
What you
further.
say.
Right. It should always be.
How do you just welcome somebody, right? How do you just say, welcome in?
But but sadly, to your point, you could walk in probably 90% of stores and they all have a jumbo mumbo.
It's all a different, and it's some version of, can I help you?
Yep.
Can I help you? It is some version of that. Yeah. And what do you, so I asked a dealer one time, what do you do when they say no? Because that's not an open, or that's not a closed end question. That's an open end question. And you don't know what's coming after, can I help you?
That's 100% right.
Right. So, we started looking at how do we help the dealer greet a floor up and capture the information right there. Let's start here, because if you want to know in real time when somebody's with a floor up, here's what you're basically asking me to do as a salesperson. Hey, welcome to ABC Motors. Can I help you? And then hopefully you say yes. And if you say yes, great. And you start, well, nice to meet you. I'm Larry Bruce. And you're having a little bit of a dialogue. And then you say, hey, can I get your driver's license so I can go put you in our CRM? And that's what you want to know in real time. It takes a driver's license or a name to get started. And then if you're with most CRMs, you have to leave the customer with his driver's license, assuming that guy gives it to you, because he's going to copy it. I don't know. We just met. I don't want to give you my driver's license right now. But this guy does. You've got to walk away, go inside, sit down, type it in, then come back out. What salesperson is going to do that? None. It's against every grain, every fiber of my being as a salesperson to ask you for a driver's license and make this awkward up front, or to leave you right after I greeted you. I just don't, it's not done. It's just not done. So, here's one thing I would hope that the people listening to this podcast right now or watching this podcast, wherever they're at, steal this. I want you to steal this. I would love to tell you I came up with it. I didn't. But it's the greatest greeting known to man for any dealership. I don't care what dealership you have.
I want to write this down, folks.
So here it comes. This is it. This is it. The greatest greeting known to man, woman, child, doesn't matter. Okay. Hey, welcome to ABC Motors. I'm Larry Bruce, and you are?
Fred.
Hey, Lou. Great to meet you. Is this welcome in or welcome back?
Love
Is this
it.
welcome in or welcome back? It's a closed-end question. You only have two choices, and both of them are good.
Yep.
Is this welcome in or welcome back?
Boom.
And it tells you something immediately about your customer.
Yes,
if it's welcome in, they've never been here before. I'm probably not going to find them in my CRM. If it's welcome back, then they have been here before. They may have talked to another salesperson, whatever happens. But either way, it's good. And now I can roll right into my greeting.
That's right.
Well, when was the last time? Well, this is welcome back. Great. When was the last time you were here? Well, I was here 6 months ago, man. We have changed up everything since then. Over here, we've got sedans, or we've got bikes over here. We got the street bikes over here. We got the dirt bikes over here. We've got the trucks down this way. Whatever you want, however you want to roll that into that. What were you looking for? Direct me what I'm looking, and then what are you interested in?
That's right.
Right into where you need to go. It's so easy, but it's so funny how many salespeople don't know how to have that conversation because you never taught them.
That's right.
Right. And then you've got this is the next one you've got to steal. So
Write down.
Stay,
down.
Get a pen. Be ready. Right here. Get ready. This is it. Well, great. Let me take you over here. But while we're walking over here, let me get your cell phone number, get you checked in.
Yep.
Now, if you say, "Can I have your cell phone number?" the first thing the customer's going to go, "No." It's like a driver's license. But if you follow it with, "Let me get you checked in. What's your cell phone number?" Checked in. That immediately takes down almost every wall. Boom. Because everywhere these go.
What about let's get you registered? What about let's get you plugged in for the
Because everywhere you go, it's like Google. Everything gets Googled now. It doesn't matter what search engine you're using. Everything's Googled. It's like if you're in the South, everything's a Coke.
That's right.
We don't have pop. We don't have soda. We have Coke. Okay. It's "let me get you checked in" is like basically takes, because everywhere they go to the Apple store. "Let me get your phone number, get you checked in." Let me go to, you go to the restaurant, you go to a restaurant. "Let me get your phone number, get you checked in." Everybody's taking your cell phone number and checking you in.
That's right.
And when you hear it, you don't even think about it. You just say, "Well, here it is." And you start giving your phone number. So steal those. You will find you will get more customers into your CRM. You will get more mobile numbers, which is what you have to have. There's only really 3 things you have to really communicate with a customer today. And none of them, by the way, are on a driver's license except for your name. I'm not sending you snail mail, buddy.
That's right.
Happening. So your name and your physical address don't mean a damn thing to me right now. I need your name, I need your email address, and I need your mobile number. Those are the 3 things I've got to have. And it's so weird how CRMs times have changed, but CRMs haven't changed with them.
True.
Right? They still want here, take a driver's license. I want to scan it. How cool is that? I can scan your driver's license. No, that's not cool at all, man. You're taking a picture of my driver's license? Hell no, that's not cool. That's so uncool. I'm not ever doing that. No. Do you know what you could do with that? Now you have my driver's license number, my picture. That's identity theft central. If you are doing this as a dealer today, stop. Can you imagine the lawsuit that could ensue from this? With today's privacy laws, crazy. No more driver's license scan. Got to stop. Name, email address, mobile number. That's all I need. Don't want your driver's license. Never, ever want your driver's license, realistically, until we do a deal. That's it.
And that's it. And Gary, you're 100% right. I think sometimes people try to get ahead of the game and think they're slick by doing things like that. But like you said, it makes people feel like they're getting compromised. So that's one more like speed bump that we don't need to put into a deal. We can make it so much smoother by getting what you just said, just 3 things. And you get those 3 things and you are set up. You can do the deal with just that. Of course, there's going to be some confirmation needed. Sometimes there's some cases where you don't even need a driver's license to sell them the car. There's like Capital One, for example. They will fund a deal without a copy of any of that. So it's like, it just comes down to what are you needing and why are you needing it so fast? So you make people go, well, hold on, I'm not committing to that. I'm just here to check some things out. Great. I'm just going to check you in. I just need your name, your phone number. How easy is that? Like, so simple. So yeah, great point, Larry.
And you don't even need, it's an either or thing on the phone number and email address. I'd much rather have the mobile number.
Amen.
I'm going to get to you much faster, and you're going to pay much more attention to me texting you than emailing you. Emailing is still very viable, but that phone number will go twice as fast.
Yeah, it's definitely you played a percentages there. Get the higher percentage of them returning you on. Exactly, and I agree.
Right.
And the idea is to have engagement, right? No matter how we send out information, or we make calls, or we send out emails, or we send out DMs, we want engagement. We want them to answer us back. And the cell phone is still the most open message all of us have.
No question. So what you want is what your CRM should do is allow you to do this, but you need to be able to do it with one click. I'm with a customer. I don't need to know a name right now. I don't need to know an address. I don't need to know anything. Because if I want my sales manager to know in real time, and I make this more than one click, I'm not going to get it.
Amen.
And it's important that the sales manager know I'm with a customer right now, because that's got to start that clock. If I really want to manage this floor, I've got to make sure I know how long everybody's with everybody.
Yep. I love
That's
it.
floor manager's job.
Yep.
Is to know that.
I freaking love that. That's 100%. And I like what you're talking about. Just that one click. What that does is takes the pressure off everybody. Like, look, I don't have to put all this information in right now. All I got to do is click a button, and my support, my air support that comes in and make sure everything gets
my
clear.
air cover, right?
Right. They got my 6, and I know that if I click this button, no matter what, they don't need to know the name. I can get that in there as soon as I can. But right now, I just need them to know that I'm with somebody in case I'm with them too long. Come out here and check me out. Right. That's what a sales manager or floor manager should be doing, is be checking out what's happening. Once, okay, they've been out there for an hour and they haven't come in or done anything, man, maybe it's time for me to go glad hand them real quick, right? Go introduce myself and try to speed the process up a little bit, or just see why it's taking so long. So that's powerful to be able to know that, and to be able to have that kind of accessibility, but it will allow the person to want to do it. Click a button, done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, if you're following the road to a sale, the 10-step road to a sale, which has stood the test of time, by the way, it's still relevant, very relevant today, right? If you're following that, then if I collect customer information within 15 minutes, I'm down to second step. I'm gaining rapport. How do I gain rapport if I don't know your name? So, I mean, if I know your name and I know your email address and your mobile number, then I'm gaining rapport. You can see that's the road steps that are happening. I love these CRM. Well, I shouldn't say I love them. I like to make fun, and I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I should. I like to make fun of CRMs that have these little check boxes on the things you did to the road to the sale. Because you ever notice that they all got done?
Yeah,
we should be selling like 1,000 cars a month because we're doing everything right. This self-selection road to a sale. That's gotta be, I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to say it like this. That's got to be the stupidest thing on the planet, because everybody's going to check off every one of those boxes. That's like asking me, well, did you do something you were supposed to do? Well, yeah. How do I know? I don't know. Yeah. So, I love these, it's like having a CRM guy who are asking one of your salespeople, well, did you call that guy? Well, yeah, I called him. And then, of course, the fun part about PSX is they'll pull up the customer record. We record every outbound call. Right. So I don't see an outbound call in here anywhere. Wonder how that happened.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, you did it from your cell phone. Don't do that again.
Let me see your phone.
Yeah. Don't do that again. Yeah. Now if you really want to talk about if it's not in my CRM, it doesn't exist. That's a 100% fact now. Right. So, but what you're seeing here, this is a sales process. And what you're seeing here is this as a sales process is what dealers don't have. Realistically, we started building these CRM systems way back. I think I built the first one in 1999. And we would build these things, and what we didn't realize was, and we would tell you, this is your tool. Well, what I did was I took a power tool and I handed it to a guy who's never used a nail gun before. And it shouldn't surprise you that he has no blueprint to build the house. He does not really know how to use the nail gun. You really didn't give him any lumber. You gave him a few sticks. And you're looking at it going, well, where's my house? Dude, I don't know how to build a house. You never gave me even blueprint. I have no training with the tools. I have no blueprint, no sales process or blueprint by which to go by. And this half-assed lumber you gave me. Mm-hmm. And you expected me to build you a mansion. Yeah, not going to happen. And you're shocked I didn't do it. That's what's funny is you're like, what the hell? How come you don't know how to do this? What do you mean? You never even showed me how to do it. So the idea that you could buy CRM as a tool or CRM as a tool is kind of goofy, because they all work a little bit differently, but they all have certain things, but none of them have sales process. And it's sales process that is what's important. When you hear people talk, they talk to people, process, technology. Technology is always the last.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have good people and you don't have good processes, the technology is probably not going to help you.
Facts.
Right.
And that's what we started to notice. That's what I started to notice. And so I said, okay, we're going to build this one with the processing.
Yep. I love it. You know what? I'm going to tell you what I like about this so much, and what I love about what you're talking about, and why this is so important to all industries, is understanding that you can't just have one generic form that everybody uses blanketly. Like what I love is that you found ways through Power Sport right now, and I love that because you're doing some amazing things through them, and it's showing. And the way you're even talking about inventory management, the way you're talking about sales process, the way that these last few shows have opened my eyes up quite a bit, Larry, and it's been pretty fun to hear all this stuff and your passion for it. I mean, you definitely have so much to give, and the information you're giving is absolutely free, folks. You can listen to what he's telling you. He's giving you exactly what people want, what a CRM should be doing, especially in this type of industry, right? When you're talking about sales, where you have inventory and you have to move inventory, and you have sales staff inside there pushing that inventory for you, whether it's power sports, automotive sales, whatever, homes, I don't care. When you have that type of stuff, you can really use this type of product that help you get through that process and know where they're at. As a leader, you can really be able to pinpoint people quicker, be able to have them communicate to you without reaching out. It's not that it makes you lazier, it makes you more proficient. It's instead of using, like we've talked about before, bows and arrows, right, Lou? Instead of using bows and arrows, we can use slingshots and rocks. We can, even more. Let's go slingshots and rocks. You don't have to do that. They worked. They were great. Yeah, they killed things. They knocked things down. They did all that good stuff. But when we have laser guided missiles, when we have like sights that can pinpoint something from a mile away and you be able to hit it and bam, with one trigger pull. I mean, come on. This is what type of technology is out there, and we should be able to communicate. We could talk to people across the world. Let's use what we have. Let's do the right things, and let's use tools that are efficient, that are today what we need right now, and because of technology we have, we can do it. And this is stuff that we all, if only our salespeople could hit a button and tell me they need help. Well, shit, we have, excuse my language, we have it. We have that. Yeah. If my salesperson could just tell me they're with a customer, even though I'm over here on the other side of the lot, we have that. That's available. All that is there. They can sign in their customer while they're on the lot instead of having to bring them inside. Are you kidding me, folks?
Well, that was kind of our revelation. Is what we wanted to build was a technology that would facilitate the process, the proper process to sell a vehicle. And it doesn't matter whether it's power sports, boats, RVs, cars. It's the same stuff when it comes to the foundational process that it takes. You're going to greet every one of these customers. You're going to have to get their name, every one of these people. I mean, these things are foundational. And so, but what we started to see was that no dealer really, we didn't run into many dealers who had it and who had a way to manage it. You can't manage what you can't measure. I mean, these things are the reason these sayings have lasted the test of time is because they work. And so, but you've got to, how do I do it? How do I do it without following around my sales force? How do I do it without, there's technology. So we wanted to build technology that would solve the problem, not that would be cool. I mean, I love, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've seen it in the car business a lot, that a lot of people build a lot of cool technology that doesn't solve anything. And, so you got to solve the problem. And then how do I take technology and solve that problem? So we started looking at, okay, well, how do we have technology solve the problem of greeting a customer? What was the hardest part about greeting a customer and getting it and knowing about it in real time? Grabbing their information. But when we looked at it, a website does that every day. Every day your website grabs hundreds and hundreds of people who it doesn't know who they are, but it knows they were there. Mm-hmm. And then what do you do about it? How do you make that actionable? After so much time, if you haven't collected customer information, then somebody's got to go find out and make sure that's working.
That's it.
Make sure you haven't walked that customer already, or you're not about to walk that customer. I can't tell you how many sales managers have called me and said, man, look, every time I see that thing turn yellow, I walk over there and I can't, you can't imagine how many people are literally moving towards the door. And I said, whoa, right? And the salesperson was never going to tell you. That deal was going to get walked, and you were going to be the point two.
Right. And what I love about this, Larry, is that it's equipping sales managers to do what is fundamentally their most important job, is being able to know what's going on with the team that they lead. What is happening?
Right.
What are they doing? What are they not doing? And be able to do it at as easy as a one-click checkup on where it is that their guys are, where it is that their gals are, and see what it is that they're actually doing.
Mhm.
But not only that, but to also be able to coach them properly. So often the information that most leaders inside of a store are using is it's either outdated or it's off the cuff because salespeople are taking a stab at what some of their real numbers are. They're saying, "Oh, I think it's around at this," or "I think I maybe have done it that," or "I probably did this." And
Yeah, I think I did
okay,
that. Right?
and it's always way off from the truth. But when an actual manager that truly understands their role to set their team up for success has it in their hand, then it's actually putting a good driver inside of a Ferrari instead of saying, well, here's this awesome machine that is a magnificent driving piece of machinery that can do incredible things, and putting it inside of the hand of a 6-year-old that can't drive. Right? What is the purpose of creating such a thing? I mean, it's almost like riding on the road and you're behind one of those fast cars in the fast lane and they're going less than the speed limit.
30. Yeah.
Right? Get out of my
30.
way.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't doing what we need it to do, and this isn't doing what it's
No
intended
doubt.
to do. And that's often why these tools collect so much dust. So when dealers are sitting here saying, "Hey, what do I gotta get out of my CRM?" and they wanted to really get in there and learn, and they really wanted to get in there and lead their people, what should a sales manager really be able to look for or ask for when they are considering the change up inside of their CRM?
Great question.
What process does your CRM facilitate?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the process you're going to help me get done to capture every up, every call, every lead, and every chat session or text session for my website. Because if I don't capture the data first, the rest of this is academic. Right. So, okay, I've got to capture the data first. Then how are you letting me know in real time when all these things are happening? Because especially on the floor, I don't want to be the point two guy. I want to be the one dealership that you visited, that you bought from, not the point two. So how does that let me know in real time what's going on my floor? How do I manage my floor in real time with your system? You know, I mean, are you one of those CRMs that is trying to turn me into digital retailing where everything is digital retailing? And that's crazy. But if that's what you want to do, Mr. Dealer, then knock yourself out. You know, it's funny you mentioned, you know, how the salespeople it's so funny how they make stuff up. I promise you, every dealer, where are we at? The 25th of the month. Oh, by now. Yeah. Every dealer, you've said this to a salesperson at least once this month, if not more. You've looked at one of your salespeople, Bill, and you said, "Bill, you talked to anybody today?" And Bill, no, what Bill said. No, you're going to love this because you know what Bill said. Well, yeah, boss, I talked to 4 or 5 people today. and of course, if you're a good sales manager, right? You look at it, well, Bill, was it 4 or was it 5?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yes.
You know, and of course, Bill, what does Bill do? Bill, it was 4, right? And then here comes the money shot right here. Here's the money shot. Why aren't they in my CRM?
Yeah.
There you go. And of course, oh, boss, I'm sorry. I'll go get them in right now. And then about 15 minutes later, Bill shows up. 4 people show up in the CRM. Do you really believe any of that's real?
Huh.
No, of course we know. As sales managers, deep in our heart of hearts, we know that's all bullshit. We know it. But instead, we go, I got Bill to try to enter customers today. No, you didn't. You got Bill to enter a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
but
right,
hey, look, at least he's using it, right? No, he's not using it. That's the whole point. You think because he put somebody in, he's using it now. He's bought in. No, he's not.
Not even
You know,
close.
so it's so funny how we make ourselves feel better because we got all this trash data running around in our CRM, and we look at these feel good metrics. And look at me, I'm 40% close rate. I'm like, come on, man, really? 40% of what?
Right.
Not all the opportunities you had to close. I guarantee you that. It's not even close. So the idea that you have a CRM where the salespeople decide who gets to go into it, the salespeople decide when they work it, and the salespeople decide how they work it. If that's your CRM, then you've got a tool, and you better have a blueprint and all the training needed to make that tool work. If you don't, it won't work. And I promise you, it doesn't matter what CRM you're on today. Guarantee this. Go find the very best guy, the best one that just works the crap out of it. And he will have thousands of undone tasks. And those are the thousands of people he just gave up on that you never even knew. And that's the ones he told you about. What about the thousands he never entered another task for? There's thousands. If your CRM is not walking or not mandating the process, not helping your management follow up on every customer, then don't sit there and bitch about how your salespeople don't do it. You don't give them any training. You don't give them a CRM that'll help them. And then you turn around and you're mad because they didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's, I'm here. I hired this worker. I hired this auto worker in Detroit. I stuck him on the line. I gave him the little wheel gun. No, I didn't train him on how to put the wheels on. I didn't even tell him where the wheels were. And I'm bitching at the end of the assembly line because this guy hadn't put the wheels on. He doesn't know how.
Right.
And you're going, well, he should have known. Well, how? Why? Really?
Oh, nobody else here knows. Right. How am I?
Yeah. Oh, he asked Joe, and Joe said, well, here's what you do. And Joe, of course, keep in mind, Joe's trying to get people off the floor, right? So Joe's the guy saying, oh man, I'm glad you had, ain't nobody selling nothing around here. He's the one trying to get people off the floor. He's not trying to help you.
Yeah, true. So true.
So it's our industry is so weird that way. And you ask a dealer, well, why won't you train your people? Why won't you put the effort in? Well, they'll just be gone in 2 weeks.
That's why.
Not if they're trained.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Them properly,
Self-fulfilling prophecy. It's funny.
People stay where they feel loved. You got to train them to make them feel loved, or they feel like they're left on.
You got to make money. I mean, you got to make money. Bottom line, okay. Of course. You got to make money, and you got to realize that people are not. Your people are going. You're going to have more digital ups than you're going to have floor ups. That's just a fact, right? And you're going to have to learn to be digital, and not continue to rely on this quote unquote BDC to somehow magically fix this thing. It's not gonna.
I love that.
The truth is,
it's not gonna.
Most dealers, I would say throughout the world, our best reference is the U.S. But for most of them, if they had to define their actual processes, they can't. As certified solutionaries, we go into many dealers all throughout the nation. Some of you know, some of you are watching, some of you are listening to this on the podcast. And you know some of the same question that we've asked each and every person inside of the building. What's the process? And hear what it is, and hear what it's also not. But if you think you don't have a process, well, you do. It just sucks. But if you have a process that's defined, that's trained, that's uniform, and that encompasses all of the tools it is that you actually have, pay for, and want to make your business grow, then you have a process. And by all means, reach out to Fred and myself if you want to find out how to make sure that you get a process implemented inside of your store to help any of the tools that you have work, because it takes a process with anything that you bring in to be able to make sure that it does seamlessly synergize with all of the things that you have going on inside of your store. But if you don't have a process, like Larry is saying, it doesn't matter what tool you have, you just have a tool. And what's very, very interesting is that this is a tool that the dealer provides. And what's so in contrast to like the back of the store or to the mechanics world is that most of those mechanics are incredibly great at using tools, and they go buy their tools. They go get some of the good tools for them to utilize and for them to be effective with. Could you imagine if salespeople had to go buy a tool and go do the things that most of the mechanics and the
They freak out.
they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know what to do. But
I can't pay my bills if I do that.
Yeah. Why I gotta pay for this? What's up? Right? It's so crazy. The need to be able to see the investment, and some of them do, and I love their heart. Some of them really do see and feel the love that the dealer has, that they do purchase this tool, they give it to them, this technology gets fused together, and they're still kind of treading water. They're still kind of using it, and they're being praised for using it the best, as they should be, but they don't actually have a process that's defined that your owner or your sales manager can even say, yes, actually, this is the process, and name it and say how it should go. And because they don't have that, well, they don't have the efficiency that maybe the military has, where there's a defined process for just about everything you do, including making your bed.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Well,
of that
funny, oddly enough, if you have a tool, you have a process. You just have like 30 of them.
Yeah. And nobody knows them. They all
right. No, they each have their own process. They're each utilizing that system differently, the way the way they think it works for them. And then you get, and even if you don't have a process, well, that is a process.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
exactly
at the end of the day, you just have all these people going in 50 different directions, 50 different ways. And then you're shocked when your customer says, "Oh, my experience wasn't great."
Wow.
Really? Why would you be shocked about that? You got a whole bunch of people who do things completely different, who are sometimes trying to help one another. But more importantly, it's not your process, your store, your deal. And at the end of the day, the only guy guaranteed to be here 5 years from now is you, and you don't even have that guarantee as a dealer.
Come on. Come on.
Make no mistake about it. If your dealership goes under, you're on the hook for the building. You're on the hook for the rent. You're on the hook for the millions of dollars in inventory. You're on the hook for the rent factor. So what does a salesperson do? He goes to the next dealership, starts working again
with your customers, with the customers that you
sometimes.
God,
don't get me started. Don't get me started on these knucklehead CRMs where you can download the customers. Oh my God. Yeah, no, your CRM should never allow your salespeople to download the customers. So I know we were trying to keep this within time limit. So let me just wrap this up from my perspective. Your CRM should facilitate this process, a process of meet, greet, time frame, road to the sale. Let your floor managers and managers know the time frame it takes from the time they meet and greet. See every call, every email, every lead in real time come in. And then what happened with any one of these opportunities? And what does your salesperson plan to do next to get that customer in? And it can't be, your manager cannot be the brain of that. They will not be able to follow up with all of it. They won't. They have other things they have to do. So something else has to take over to make all this work.
Love it. Larry, this is awesome. This has been a great show, great subject. I mean, goodness, wow. Fred, this is how we started off the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Our very first show was about the process. If you guys want to go back into the database, you want to go to our website and go listen to the very first episode of the podcast. That's so exactly true. What we spoke about was the importance of the process. And folks, that's never going to change. Those that have a great process have a great product, have a great brand, and have a great way of delivering that product, that brand to the consumer. And we are so thankful that you've taken the time to talk about this today. Larry, Fred, this has been fun. We've been having a great time. If you've been enjoying this, make sure that you share it around. Tag a car guy.
Dude.
Tag
a car
gal.
gal. And share. Get this out there, folks. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be back out. It's going to get recut. It's going to be reproduced and sent out for you guys to watch into pieces and however you guys want. But you can watch this on the replay right now, anywhere on Facebook, YouTube. It's all out there. Man, these last 3 episodes have been phenomenal. I love the information. Larry, I am literally feeling like this hat's not going to fit my head because I'm learning so much, right? And like, I really am. Like, I love your insight. I love your perspective on how things should work. I love the idea of how you believe a CRM should be, because it is exactly right? I think that, especially in automotive and in power sports and things like that, there needs to be something where it's a different pace. This types of sale is a different pace. It's fast. It's quick. Its communication has to be boom, boom, boom. There isn't like months of years of us working it out. It's literally bam, bam, bam. Most of the time it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This is the way to do it, folks. This is a way for you to be able to keep up with your people. Get digital with them. Reach out. I'm telling you, this was a great show. I'm pumped up. Thank you so much for coming on the show again and doing this DealerCast with us. I'm glad that we got to do this with you, and we're looking forward to the next week, folks. We'll be back next Monday, same time, same place. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Be ready.
And I think this is going to be a great show to segue into the next podcast, which I believe we ought to talk about is, what does a floor manager look like? What should a floor manager be doing? Should you even have a floor manager? So that's going to be, I believe that's the next show is that we'll be talking about, what does a floor manager need to be looking for? What does they need to do? But more importantly, should you have one, and why?
Come on.
I love it. This will give you better insights of owners and GMs on who you should hire and why you should hire them, and what kind of activities they should be doing. So be ready for it. I can't wait. Larry, that's a great subject. Can't wait to get into it. Let's brew.
All right. Well, let's drop these F-bombs and let's get you doing what it is that you need to do and put the process together to set up your week, everybody.
Here we go.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus.
Fly.
And keep growing. Keep growing. Thank you so much,
sir.
100%.
everybody. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
I'm Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
You've been brewing solutions.
Larry Bruce.
DealerCast 2.0 with the one, the only Larry
Bruce.
We'll talk to you
Man.
later, everybody.
The legend,
All right,
my friend.
guys.
See ya.
Peace.